Fewer Canadians making the trip south of the border this year. It's a big problem for the Big Apple. New York City's marketing organization is seeing a noticeable decline, and it's being called the Trump slump. So now, NYC Company officials are here in Canada pitching Canadians to come back. Here with us this morning in studio is NYC Company's president and CEO, Fred Dixon. Good to have you on this side of the border this morning.
Thank you. Good morning. It's great to be here.
Okay, so let's talk about numbers. What are you projecting? What are the concerns?
Well, we came off of a really strong year in 2016. Travel across the United States was really strong all of last year, and in New York it was a great year. So coming into 2017, we were very optimistic about the year ahead, but we began to notice a change in consumer sentiment in February, right after the travel bans were first announced. And the issue really was about the uncertainty around how welcoming the United States was going to be going forward. We saw certain decisions being made, like the Toronto School Board deciding, not to send groups in the future to the United States, at least for the interim basis. We began to track fewer searches for travel to the United States out of major markets in Europe, certainly in Canada and in Mexico. So we realized we could be in a situation where we may have a perception problem in terms of our welcoming nature. So we've been encouraging Washington, always safety first, but also stress the welcome. Make sure that everyone knows that the United States is open for business and that we are welcoming people for business or for pleasure.
So if the numbers are declining as they potentially appear to be, Canadians not going to New York City, how does that affect the city directly?
Well, tourism is big business in New York City. And last year we welcomed almost 61 million visitors, and the economic impact was over $40 billion U.S. in direct spending. So it is a really important sector of our economy. So we want to do all we can to keep it strong. And we have a great relationship with the Canadian market, and you're so close. A lot of repeat visitation. And we know there are challenges with the dollar. I mean, that is already baked into the consideration. So we know there are issues there, and we're working on some value propositions.
Yeah, I want to ask you about that, because obviously our loonie is not as great as it was a couple of years ago even. So how do you sort of attract people when you say, your dollar's not going to go as far in our city as it would somewhere else?
Yeah, and it is true. I mean, you can almost track tourism with the valuation of the dollar. But for the Canadians, there's a lot of good news this summer. One of the greatest pieces of news is that we have more hotels in New York City today than we've ever had. We've been in a building boom. So many new hotels have opened, and they have introductory offers on the marketplace. You actually can find hotel rates that are within every budget range across all 5 boroughs. So that is great news for the Canadians in particular. This summer is also the 25th anniversary of Restaurant Week in New York City. So we have 400 of the top restaurants in the city offering price-fixed menus. And we have 2-for-1 Broadway tickets coming up later in the summer with Broadway Week. So there's lots of value. New York is also a great walking city. So you can, explore the city. The great attractions like the High Line, certainly Central Park, are all free and affordable. And we encourage Canadians to take advantage of those.
Okay, in the opening, I talked about the Trump slump.
Yes.
I mean, how much can you equate to him being in office?
Well, it's a challenging question because at this time we haven't seen the impact. The real issue is that, international travel numbers lag behind. So we really have to rely on searches and booking data to tell us directionally which way the markets are going. The prediction is at the moment the U.S. could fall about 3% in terms of overall international arrivals this year. For New York City, it's a little bit less. We're a little less vulnerable in that sense, about 2%. That doesn't sound like a big number, but 2% for us in New York is 300,000 international visitors. On average, they spend $2,000 per trip. That's $600 million in direct spending that could be in jeopardy this year.
So you've got the chance to talk to all the Canadians watching right now. What would you say to them to sell your city?
Well, I would just say, New York is really experiencing a boom in terms of new attractions. We actually call it the new New York right now. There's so many exciting things to see, from the redeveloped World Trade Center site downtown Manhattan to brand new attractions coming in Midtown, like National Geographic's new attraction, Ocean Odyssey. And there are new cultural institutions as well. The Whitney Museum, its biennial is this year. The High Line, of course, is one of the hottest spots to explore. And across all 5 boroughs of New York City, we're seeing exciting development. So it is a great time to come. There is value baked into the market. And most importantly, we love our Canadian visitors.
And you're welcoming.
And we are welcoming.
You're open. Your doors are open.
We are. All are welcome in New York.
All right, Fred, thank you so much for being here this morning. Good luck to you. We're back right after this with today's top business story.